Could a penny from 1982, 1962, or 1995 be worth far more than its face value? These classic US pennies might look like everyday change, but buried within these seemingly normal coins are rare errors that could make them worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars. But don't be fooled, spotting these mistakes isn't easy. Stick with me, and we'll uncover the hidden treasures that could be sitting right under your nose. The 1972 US penny might look like an ordinary coin to the untrained eye, but some of these coins hold secrets that could change someone's life. What makes this penny so special isn't just its history or the sheer volume of pennies minted in that year, it's the rare, accidental errors made during its production. These errors have turned what was once a simple, everyday coin into a highly sought-after collector's item worth thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars in some cases. Let's begin with the basics. The 1972 penny, officially known as the Lincoln cent, was struck at 3 mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Denver and San Francisco carry the D and S mint marks, while coins from Philadelphia have no mint mark at all. Most 1972 pennies were composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighing 3.11 grams. These specifications might seem mundane, but they set the stage for understanding why certain coins stand out. During the minting process, hundreds of millions of pennies were struck that year. At such high production levels, mistakes are bound to happen. These mistakes, known as mint errors, occur when something goes wrong with the dies, planchets, or striking process. While most error coins are caught and removed before leaving the mint, some slip through the cracks, and when they do, they become treasures for collectors. One of the most famous errors in the 1972 penny is the double die obverse, or DDO. This error occurs when a coin's die, the metal piece used to imprint the design, is engraved twice slightly out of alignment. The result? Certain details on the coin appear doubled. On the 1972 penny, doubling is most visible in the date, the word liberty, and the phrase, "In God we trust." Spotting this error can feel like striking gold. For example, let's talk about a 1972 double die obverse penny found by an amateur collector. This individual, curious about the coins they'd accumulated over the years, decided to examine their pennies with a magnifying glass. To their surprise, they noticed doubling on the word liberty. After sending the coin to a professional grading service for authentication, they discovered it was a high-grade DDO penny. The coin later sold at auction for over $14,000. Not all errors are as dramatic as the double die obverse, but even minor errors can add significant value. Off-center strikes, for instance, occur when a coin isn't properly aligned during the striking process. This results in part of the design being cut off, leaving an unusual, often striking appearance. The more off-center the strike, the rarer and more valuable the coin. Then there are clipped planchets, which happen when the blank metal discs used to create coins are incorrectly cut. A clipped planchet penny will have a crescent-shaped chunk missing, a mistake that makes it instantly recognizable. Another error type is the die crack, where small cracks form in the die, leaving raised lines or cuds on the surface of the coin. While these might seem like imperfections, collectors see them as unique features that set these coins apart. But what makes these errors so valuable? The answer lies in rarity and demand. Mint errors are unintended, which means they occur in very small quantities compared to regular coins. Their scarcity makes them desirable to collectors who are willing to pay a premium to own these unique pieces of minting history. Take, for example, a rare case of a broad strike error on a 1972 penny. Broad strike errors occur when the coin is struck without a collar to contain its shape, causing it to expand outward. A collector at a flea market discovered this broad strike penny mixed in with other loose change. Recognizing its unusual shape, they purchased it for just a few cents and later sold it to a dealer for $1,200. If you're wondering how you might identify these errors, don't worry. You don't need to be a professional numismatist to start. First, grab a magnifying glass or a USB microscope and take a closer look at your pennies. Focus on the date, the lettering, and the rim of the coin. Look for any signs of doubling, misalignment, or irregularities. Next, weigh your coin. A standard 1972 penny should weigh 3.11 grams. If your coin is significantly lighter or heavier, it could indicate an error in the planchet. This step is especially useful for identifying more subtle errors that aren't immediately visible. When you think you've found something special, compare it to online resources or guides that catalog known errors. Websites like PCGS or NGC have extensive databases of coin varieties and their values. If your coin matches a known error or looks like something entirely new, consider sending it to a professional grading service for authentication. These services can confirm the coin's authenticity and assign it a grade, which plays a big role in determining its value. The condition of a coin is critical when it comes to value. Grading services like PCGS and NGC use a 70-point scale to assess a coin's state, with higher grades indicating better condition. Coins graded MS-65 or higher are particularly valuable because they show minimal signs of wear and retain their original luster. For instance, a 1972 DDO penny in circulated condition might be worth a few $100s. But if the same coin is in uncirculated condition with a grade of MS-65, its value could skyrocket to several $1,000s. While the double die obverse penny is the most famous error from 1972, it's not the only one to keep an eye out for. Coins with multiple errors, such as a DDO combined with an off-center strike, are extremely rare and can fetch astonishing prices. These double-error coins are the stuff of legends in the numismatic world. One story tells of a collector who discovered a 1972 penny with both a double die obverse and a clipped planchet. This combination of errors was so rare that it made headlines in the coin collecting community. After being authenticated and graded, the coin sold at auction for over $20,000. The allure of these coins lies not just in their monetary value but also in the thrill of the hunt. Many collectors have stories of finding valuable pennies in the most unexpected places: loose change from a grocery store, jars of forgotten coins in a relative's attic, or even rolls of pennies purchased from the bank. If you're serious about hunting for 1972 era pennies, consider starting with rolls of pennies from your local bank. Sorting through rolls is a cost-effective way to search for hidden treasures. Estate sales, flea markets, and antique shops are also great places to find coins that may have been overlooked by others. Once you've found a valuable coin, proper storage is essential to preserve its condition. Use coin holders or airtight cases to protect your coins from scratches, moisture, and environmental damage. Remember, even a minor scratch can significantly reduce a coin's value, so handle them with care. As we near the end of this journey, let's talk about the most valuable 1972 pennies ever discovered. The record for the highest-selling 1972 penny belongs to a double die obverse coin graded MS-67. This penny, in near-perfect condition, sold at auction for an astounding $26,400. It's a reminder that even something as small and seemingly insignificant as a penny can hold incredible value. But the ultimate question remains: could there still be undiscovered treasures out there? The answer is a resounding yes. With millions of 1972 pennies still in circulation, the chances of finding an error coin are higher than you might think. It's this possibility that keeps collectors searching, examining every penny with the hope of uncovering a rare and valuable piece of history. The 1962 Lincoln penny might seem like just another ordinary coin tucked away in an old jar or hiding at the bottom of a junk drawer. But what if I told you that this humble penny could be worth hundreds of thousands, or even millions, of dollars? That's right, an unassuming piece of copper could be the key to a life-changing discovery, and today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1962 penny to uncover its secrets. So, what makes this coin so special? Let's start by exploring its origins. In 1962, the United States was booming. The post-war economy was thriving, and coins were being minted in massive quantities to keep up with demand. The Lincoln penny was no exception. First introduced in 1909, the penny featured Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side, designed by Victor David Brenner, and in 1959, the reverse design was updated to showcase the Lincoln Memorial. By 1962, this iconic design was firmly established, and pennies were minted at both the Philadelphia and Denver facilities. But here's where things start to get interesting. Every coin minted that year was meant to follow strict specifications: 95% copper, 5% zinc and tin, weighing 3.11 grams, with a diameter of 19 millimeters. These precise details ensured consistency across millions of coins. However, when you're producing billions of pennies annually, mistakes are inevitable, and it's these mistakes that create rarity. Let's talk about errors. To a casual observer, a misprinted penny might seem like a flawed, worthless coin. But in the world of numismatics, the study and collection of coins, errors are treasures. They're anomalies caused by mistakes during the minting process, and they can dramatically increase a coin's value. Take the double die error, for example. This happens when a coin's die, the metal stamp used to strike the design, shifts or strikes more than once, creating a doubling effect on the coin's surface. On a 1962 penny, you might notice doubling in the lettering, especially in the words "Liberty" or "In God We Trust." Look closely at the date itself, and you could see faint overlapping impressions. These subtle imperfections make a double die error incredibly valuable. Then there's the off-center strike. This occurs when a coin isn't properly aligned during the minting process, causing part of the design to be missing or shifted. Depending on the degree of misalignment, these coins can fetch thousands of dollars at auction. Even more dramatic are clipped planchets, where a coin appears to have a bite taken out of it due to errors in cutting the blanks used for minting. These pieces are rare and highly sought after. One of the most famous errors in 1962 pennies is the BIE error, named for a unique break in the die that creates a raised bar between the letters B and E in the word Liberty. These coins are a collector favorite, not only for their rarity but also for the story behind their nickname. But how do you know if you've got one of these valuable error coins? The key is attention to detail. Start by gathering tools like a magnifying glass or coin loop to inspect your pennies up close. Look for irregularities in the lettering, the date, or the edges of the coin. Any sign of doubling, misalignment, or missing details could indicate an error. It's not just about the errors, though. The condition of the coin plays a massive role in its value. Numismatists use a grading system called the Sheldon scale to evaluate a coin's state. This scale ranges from 1, for a coin that's barely recognizable, to 70, for a flawless, mint-condition coin. A 1962 penny with a rare error that's graded at mint state 65 or higher can command astronomical prices. Let me share a story to put this into perspective. A collector in the Midwest was sorting through a roll of pennies they picked up at a bank. At first glance, it seemed like an ordinary roll. But as they carefully inspected each coin, one stood out. It was a 1962 penny with a double die obverse, and its condition was nearly perfect. They sent the coin to a professional grading service, which confirmed its rarity and assigned it a high grade. That penny later sold at auction for over $20,000, a life-changing discovery from pocket change. Another collector, a metal detector hobbyist, found a 1962 penny buried in their backyard. It turned out to be an off-center strike with nearly 50% of the design missing. Despite being unearthed from the ground, the coin was in remarkable condition and fetched several $1,000s at auction. These stories highlight the thrill of discovery and the potential hidden in the most unexpected places. The most valuable 1962 pennies, however, are those with rare combinations of errors, high grades, and unique characteristics. Imagine a coin with a double die obverse, a clipped planchet, and pristine luster, it would be a numismatic jackpot. Some of these coins have sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars, setting records and captivating collectors worldwide. But you don't need to be an expert to start hunting for treasures. Begin with what you have. Check your piggy bank, old jars, or even ask for coin rolls from your local bank. Sorting through these coins can be a rewarding experience, especially when you know what to look for. Once you find a coin that seems unusual, consider having it authenticated and graded by a professional service like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. These services provide certification that can dramatically increase a coin's value in the market. Preserving your coins is equally important. Never clean a coin, as this can damage its surface and reduce its value. Instead, store them in protective cases or albums to prevent scratches and tarnishing. As we dive deeper into the world of 1962 pennies, let's explore one of the rarest and most valuable examples ever discovered. In the late 1990s, a collector came across a 1962 penny with multiple errors, a double die obverse, a reverse with filled letters caused by debris in the die, and an off-center strike. What made this coin extraordinary wasn't just the combination of errors but its impeccable condition. It had been carefully stored since its discovery, preserving its original mint luster. When this penny hit the auction block, it shattered expectations, selling for over $100,000. What makes these coins so captivating isn't just their monetary value, it's the story they tell. Every error is a glimpse into the minting process, a snapshot of a moment in time when something went slightly wrong. These imperfections, rather than diminishing the coin, make it a piece of history, a tangible connection to the past. If you're feeling inspired to start your own coin hunt, remember this: the key is patience. Rare finds don't happen overnight, but every coin you examine brings you one step closer to uncovering a treasure. Engage with the numismatic community, join online forums, and learn from experienced collectors. The more you immerse yourself in this fascinating hobby, the greater your chances of success. The 1962 penny is a perfect example of how the smallest, most overlooked objects can hold incredible value. Whether it's a double die error, an off-center strike, or a clipped planchet, these imperfections transform ordinary coins into extraordinary discoveries. And who knows? The next time you're sorting through your pocket change, you might just find a 1962 penny worth a fortune. So, keep looking, stay curious, and never underestimate the power of a single penny. The 1995 US penny might seem like a small, ordinary coin, but to collectors and numismatists, it holds potential value far beyond its face value. For some, this penny could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, or even millions, but only if it carries a rare error. Most people wouldn't think twice about tossing a penny into their change jar, but hidden within a collection of everyday coins could be a treasure worth far more than anyone would expect. To understand the value of these error pennies, we need to delve deep into the minting process, the common, and rare, errors that occur, and how they can drastically increase a coin's worth. The 1995 penny was minted during a significant era in U.S. coinage, a time when changes in materials and production processes had already begun to affect the way coins were created. Understanding the basics of the 1995 penny will help us later distinguish why certain versions of it could be worth so much more. The 1995 penny, much like the pennies minted in the years around it, is composed of 97.5% zinc, with the remaining 2.5% made up of copper. This composition was introduced in 1982 to reduce costs, as copper was becoming increasingly expensive. Before that, the penny was primarily made of copper. The penny features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, and the reverse shows the iconic Lincoln Memorial. This reverse design, which graced the penny from 1959 until 2008, is one of the most recognized symbols of U.S. coinage. It was a coin everyone knew, and yet, there was so much more happening beneath the surface. Errors, slight imperfections in the minting process, and unusual anomalies can elevate a seemingly ordinary coin into a priceless collectible. The key to understanding why some 1995 pennies are worth hundreds of thousands, or even millions, lies in the concept of minting errors. Coin errors are mistakes that happen during the production process, and they often lead to highly valuable coins. The rarity of these errors, coupled with the demand from collectors, can push their price well beyond what you might expect. Common errors include die cracks, off-center strikes, double dies, and repunched mint marks, but there are also rarer anomalies that have made headlines in the numismatic community. A die crack, for instance, happens when the die used to strike the coin begins to wear out, causing lines or cracks to appear on the coin's design. A well-pronounced die crack on a 1995 penny could increase its value, especially if it's located in a prominent place, like across Lincoln's face or through the Lincoln Memorial. Off-center strikes are another fascinating error, and they can be even more valuable. This occurs when the planchet, the blank metal disc that is stamped to create the coin, isn't properly aligned with the die, causing the design to appear off-center. This can make the coin look misaligned, as if part of the design is missing. A 1995 penny with a noticeable off-center strike could be worth much more than a regular penny because of its rarity and distinctiveness. Double dies, another sought-after error, occur when the die is misaligned during the minting process, resulting in a doubling effect in the design. If you look closely at a coin with a double die, you'll notice that certain parts of the design, like the date or the lettering, appear doubled. On a 1995 penny, a doubled Lincoln portrait or a doubled date could signal a coin worth thousands of dollars. But spotting a double die requires a keen eye and a bit of knowledge. Repunched mint marks are another error that can elevate the value of a coin. This happens when the mint mark, the letter indicating where the coin was minted, is stamped multiple times, often due to a worn-out die. In the case of the 1995 penny, a repunched mint mark could occur on the D mint mark from the Denver Mint. These types of errors are often subtle but highly prized among collectors. To illustrate just how valuable these errors can be, let's take a look at some real-life examples of collectors who have found 1995 pennies with rare errors. One such story involves a collector who found a 1995 doubled die penny while going through a roll of pennies they had picked up from a local bank. The coin had a slight doubling in the date, and after getting it professionally graded, it was valued at over $15,000. Imagine buying a penny roll for less than $10 and discovering that one coin inside could be worth that much. Another exciting story comes from a collector who stumbled upon a 1995 penny with a die crack running through the Lincoln Memorial. This wasn't just a small crack, it was prominent, visible with the naked eye. After further inspection, the coin was sent to a grading service, and it came back as a high-quality specimen with a price tag that left the collector in shock. The die crack itself added significant value, and the coin was later sold for nearly $20,000. These stories may sound like rare exceptions, but in the world of coin collecting, they are a reminder that you never know what you might find in your pocket change. The key to finding these valuable coins lies in knowing what to look for. Now, let's get into the specifics of how you can identify these valuable error coins yourself. The first step is having the right tools. You don't need an expensive microscope, but a simple jeweler's loupe or a magnifying glass will help you get a closer look at your coins. A scale is also useful, as it can help you check for weight discrepancies, which can sometimes indicate a clipped planchet or another error. When inspecting your 1995 pennies, start by looking closely at the design. Die cracks are one of the most common errors, and they often appear in the same spots, around the edges of the Lincoln Memorial or through Lincoln's portrait. If you see any lines that look like cracks or breaks in the design, that could be a sign of a die crack. These can be faint, so make sure to inspect your coins carefully. Next, look for signs of a double die. This error typically shows up on the date or the lettering of the coin. If you notice any part of the design looking doubled, with a shadow effect around the letters or numbers, then you could be holding a highly valuable 1995 double die penny. The date is usually the most noticeable part of a double die, so check the P9 and the P5 carefully to see if they appear doubled or shifted. Another error to watch out for is an off-center strike. When a penny is struck off-center, part of the design is missing, and the coin can appear warped or incomplete. Off-center pennies can vary in how much of the design is missing, and sometimes, they can even be worth thousands, depending on how extreme the error is. To spot this, simply compare the alignment of the design to the edge of the coin. If the design looks misaligned, you may have an off-center error. Repunched mint marks are another error you should keep an eye out for. The mint mark on a 1995 penny, which can either be a D for the Denver Mint or no mint mark at all for the Philadelphia Mint, can sometimes appear blurry or doubled. This happens when the mint dies are punched multiple times, causing the mint mark to look off. If you see this on your coin, it could be worth more than the typical penny. The most valuable of these errors are often those that are the rarest, such as the 1995 double die penny. This coin, when in good condition, can fetch up to $20,000 or more at auction. But even the more common errors, like die cracks or off-center strikes, can still be worth hundreds or thousands of dollars, especially if the coin is in excellent condition and has been properly graded. After you've examined your penny for these errors, the next step is getting your coin professionally graded. A reputable grading service like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, can authenticate and assign a grade to your coin, which will determine its market value. A coin's grade is based on its condition, with grades ranging from poor to mint state and even proof. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin is. If you do find a 1995 penny with a rare error, it's important to handle it carefully. Store it in a protective holder or case to prevent any further wear or damage. Avoid cleaning the coin, as cleaning can significantly reduce its value. So, what is the takeaway here? The 1995 penny is far more than just another small coin. It's a potential goldmine waiting to be discovered by those with the knowledge and patience to identify rare minting errors. Whether it's a double die, an off-center strike, or a die crack, understanding these errors and knowing how to spot them could lead you to find a coin worth thousands, if not more. It's clear that this tiny piece of currency holds a story of its own, one that could make you a significant amount of money if you know what to look for. So, the next time you see a 1995 penny, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look, you never know, it could be worth far more than you think. Now that you've learned about the rare errors in the 1982, 1962, and 1995 US pennies, it's time to search through your own collection. You might have a hidden gem among your change. If you enjoyed this deep dive into valuable coins, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more rare coin discoveries. There's always more to explore, and who knows what treasures are waiting to be found.